I love movies, and I try to only give my money and time to good ones. So as much as I appreciated the first batch of Jurassic Park movies as movies, I'm a simple hyper chicken. I'll pay to see a bad movie in theaters if it means I get to look at a big lizard on a big screen. I loved Godzilla '98, so do with that what you will. This love drove me to see every single Jurassic World movie in theaters, and thus a pattern was established. Jurassic World 1 wasn't great, but I overlooked that because it had a mosasaur and an Indominus Rex, so I went back for 2. 2 also sucked and had even less dinos, so I hated it more. But they set up that there were going to be dinosaurs in the real world for the next time, so I held out hope and saw number 3. It was also another bad movie, but even worse was the fact that, again, there were not very many big dinosaurs. So I just wrote off me not liking it as that. But then Jurassic World Rebirth came out, and in all the marketing were these shots of these massive lizards, and I was so pumped. Surely, this would make up for the lack of dinosaurs in recent years. So I went to see it. And for the first time, something felt off. Despite there being more big reptiles than I knew what to do with, I still left unsatisfied because ultimately, it was a horrible movie. I realize now that I've reached a point in my life where dinosaurs aren't enough. I've been tricking myself into thinking that all I needed were dinosaurs, when really, I needed substance. I need Jurassic Park. That got me thinking, what makes a good Jurassic Park movie versus a bad one? And that's what we're looking at today, the numbered list I've created that answers that question. Yay, we're finally talking about Jurassic Park. I get to wear my dinosaur shirt again. I love it. I'm very excited. So number 1 is regular dorks. The original Jurassic Park series is just filled with nerds and ugly B-list celebrities flopping around. They're not action heroes. No one can really do anything impressive to avoid getting eaten or punches a velociraptor, except for her. They're William H. Macy, Téa Leon, Vince Vaughn, Laura Dern, Sam Neill, Jeff Goldblum. These guys would barely know how to survive a dog attack, let alone a T-Rex. That choice to make the characters feel like real people gives the film some stakes. They might actually die, so you get nervous when they encounter a life-threatening situation. And what adds to those stakes is that the writers don't really give them plot armor. As much as they're not going to kill off their main cast, the movie also doesn't really help them either. If you pay attention, they're not usually saved by forces of nature or failures of physics. Instead, each person that survives does so as a direct result of a decision or an action that they or somebody else made. And because they're real people in unreal situations, we get to see ourselves in the characters. Jurassic World, on the other hand, made their main characters overpowered ubermenches. The first 3 movies have Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard, and the most recent ones star a set of mercenaries who made a career out of avoiding death. Now you might think, hey, there are exceptions. Look at Bryce and Jonathan Bailey. Bryce plays a business executive and Bailey a paleontologist. They're regular people. Are they? I don't know about you, but I've met paleontologists, and they're not scaling down 500-foot cliffs. They're ditch-digging nerds that spend most of their time sitting in labs looking at rocks. Do you remember that group of doughballs in the first little bit of Jurassic Park? That's what you would expect. Do you think this guy is volunteering to shoot a mosasaur? He's dying 3 minutes into the boat trip from seasickness. And Bryce, as pretty much it pointed out,
she is just like a business executive who now lives in the woods. She's not this physical person.
Yeah.
The reason she's able to do any of it is because she's not a business lady. She's a mutant written for the movie. What? They don't survive because of their own actions. They have no personal agency. All these guys do is avoid death with luck. It's like every movie is the first 5 minutes of a final destination. In Jurassic World 4, when normal paleontologist Jonathan Bailey breaks his harness as he's rappelling down a stone wall, he's able to fall 40 feet without dying because some trees soften his blow. First off, if you're falling that far, you're dead. End of discussion. And second, trees aren't marshmallows. They hurt even if you're not falling to your death. He didn't survive because of anything he did. The writers saved him. And when you realize nothing the characters do will realistically affect the story, you kind of stop caring about them. Number 2, small-scale stories. The dinosaurs in Jurassic Park might be big, but the scope of the plot never really is. The characters are there to complete a finite mission, and if they don't succeed, the world doesn't end. In Jurassic Park 1, they're playtesting the park to comfort investors. In Jurassic Park 2, Ian Malcolm needs to observe dinosaurs for court documents, and then some poachers bring a T-Rex back to San Francisco with surprisingly little consequences. Then in Jurassic Park 3, 2 dorks try to rescue their son after a parasailing accident. There's nothing over the top we need to worry about. We are where we are, and that's all where we are. It streamlines the plot and makes you care more about what's happening because that's all there is. Because shockingly, people fighting for their lives, no matter how many people there are, is stakes enough. Now let's look at the Jurassic World movies. In Jurassic World 1, a super dinosaur is on the verge of killing 2,000 theme park visitors. In Jurassic World 2, they auction off a dinosaur of mass destruction to private buyers. In Jurassic Park 3, an evil corporation uses giant locusts to attack independent farmers so they'll have to buy their seed. And in Jurassic Park 4, they're working for another evil company trying to develop and subsequently withhold a life-saving drug from poor people. In all of those, it kind of feels like they're trying to replace real stakes, human intrigue, and thoughtful interpersonal and ethical drama with manufactured geopolitical conflict and mass death. And in films where I don't really care about the main characters or the thin themes they're claiming to explore, these external consequences get exhausting. Number 3, dinosaurs as characters. How the dinosaurs are treated in Jurassic Park 1 to 3 is a big part of what made them so amazing. Each and every dinosaur has their own character with their own filming conventions that make you feel connected to them. When we're introduced to the Brontosaurus, we only get to see it from the perspective of Dr. Sattler and Grant to show how grand and daunting it was. When the raptors stalk the kids in the kitchen, it's even scarier because despite not getting to meet these dinosaurs beforehand, we've heard about how smart and deadly they are through the whole movie. And now we're testing that fact with children. That is an effective use of filmmaking and storytelling. Now let's contrast it with Jurassic World again. Outside of the anthropomorphized serial killer dino of the week or the dog-like ones made to sell toys, the dinosaurs in these films are just boring. They're all shot in these big panoramic wides that suck all of the personality from what are essentially some of the most important characters in the movies. The direction is so interchangeable that it doesn't really matter what's in front of you. They're just there. Like there's a scene in Jurassic World Rebirth where they're obviously mimicking the kitchen scene with the velociraptors in Jurassic Park, but the new version doesn't work because A, it's shot in like 4 angles, which does nothing for the tension of the scene, and B, we don't know these dinosaurs. They were made up for the movie. We have zero connection with them in the story or in real life. Like the bones of a dinosaur, it's hollow and just reminds me of a better movie that I'm angry I'm not watching now because I paid to see this. And finally, 4. You know what? It's not about the dinosaurs. I know what I said at the beginning of the video, but I lied. I used to think I was going to the theaters to see dinosaurs fight and be all snappy, but I kept leaving disappointed. Heck, I mean, the last time I saw Godzilla 98, I was like 4, so I don't even know if I actually liked it or I'm just nostalgic for the feeling of being scared shitless. So now I'm realizing that the problem isn't that I recently reached the point where big dinos aren't enough. It's that they never were. Dinosaurs don't show up until about halfway through Jurassic Park 1, and it's still one of the best movies of all time. And if you look at the other two, despite there not really being dinosaurs off the bat, you don't really miss them. Which is completely opposite to the Jurassic World series, where any moment without dinosaurs feels like they're biding their time to get to them. What the Jurassic World movies forgot, what I forgot, is that dinosaur movies aren't actually about the dinosaurs. In reality, dinosaur movies and zombie movies are very similar. They're a blank canvas for commentary and interpersonal drama amped to 11. And by the way, if you're curious about why I mentioned zombies here, it's because I have a video about how zombies are kind of blank canvases for commentaries. And if you're interested in watching it, the link is here, one of the places that I'm pointing. Or you can look in the description, but you can watch it later, it's pretty good. Anyway, the original Jurassic Park trilogy understood that. They left space for these delicate relationships to unravel and grow in this unique high-stress environment. Whether it be a divorced couple working together to save their son, or a man who doesn't like kids growing to love them as he's forced to protect them, or a chaos theorist going back to a dinosaur-infested island to watch out for his ex-girlfriend. Each of them establishes complex characters played by dorks with charisma so that you have something to cling on to when they aren't directly fighting for their lives. Basically, they put storytelling first, for the most part. Now let's look at the Jurassic World series. These characters are boring, unlikable, and lack any sort of substantive interpersonal drama or character flaws to play with. They're pieces of cardboard being slapped around reptiles by a loose narrative. Sometimes they give the illusion of depth by having characters drop little lore bombs in random moments, but that information usually never goes anywhere.
If mom and dad get divorced, will one of us be with mom and the other with dad?
Oh, your parents are getting divorced? Well, I'm glad I'm only hearing about that a third of the way through the movie and never again. I'm sure it means a lot to you. And characters and relationships don't grow as a result of what they've been through. It's all because the story demands it. Sure, Scarlett Johansson, a big company's paying you a lot of money to collect dinosaur blood, and you've said several times how important that money is.
And we have very deep pockets.
I'm gonna need a number.
Did you tell him about the zeros?
I want the money, you want the money.
But by all means, give that blood away to open science because this guy you just met thinks it would be nice. that dinosaurs were never cool because they were dinosaurs. They were cool because we were seeing them through the eyes of people like us. But instead, they stripped this originally philosophical and colorful film down to its basic elements to make a slurry of generic action films that keep tricking me into paying money to see them because they got big lizards. I blame myself, but I also blame them. But hidden in the pile of Stegosaurus shit that is the Jurassic World movies is a gem. A perfect example of what a modern Jurassic Park film should be. Battle at Big Rock. Battle at Big Rock is a 10-minute short film directed by Colin Trevorrow, the director of the first and second Jurassic World movies, that was released between the second and the third. The movie is about two parents and their three kids, 10, 7, and 1, camping at Big Rock National Park. As they're eating dinner in their van, a mommy and a baby Triceratops and Allosaurus comes out from the woods and fight in the middle of the grounds. The human baby starts screaming, getting the attention of the Allosaurus as the Triceratops gets away. The Allosaurus then attacks them and rips apart their camper van. But just as it's going in for the kill, the little girl runs away to get a crossbow, then shoots it in its eye, saving the day. Listen, it's not a perfect movie, and there's definitely a random lore drop that never really comes into play.
We've been a family for 2 years now.
I know this is still new, but we are a family now.
Really? Why did I need to know that? But it hits almost every mark of a good Jurassic Park. Number one, this isn't the family from Spy Kids. They're just regular people with no crazy skills or luck. I mean, to fight off the Allosaurus, the dad pulls out a piece of wood and the mom sprays it with a fire extinguisher. If that doesn't say, we know we're gonna die, I don't know what does. And they're saved by their daughter using her own good judgment and the skills we've established she has. Not an accidental falling tree or a deus ex machina, it's someone we know. Number two, it's a small-scale story about a group of unprepared people trying not to get eaten. We're only focused on what's happening with them, unburdened by what consequences this might have on the rest of humanity. Number three, none of the shots feel unintentional or done out of convenience. The dinosaurs are presented purposely and interestingly. They make you feel like you're part of the family watching them from the window with everything that comes with that. Trevorrow used filmmaking to blend the magic of dinosaurs and the reality of just how not great it would be to encounter them in the real world. And four, as much as it's about the dinosaurs, it's not. They're again a backdrop to observe what choices a normal family would make to survive if attacked by an Allosaurus. The battle didn't give me chills. It was the parents' feeble attempt to defend their children with everything they had, knowing they didn't stand a chance. It's a movie about people with dinosaurs, not a movie about dinosaurs with people. This literally could have been how they went about every Jurassic World movie. A zombie film with dinosaurs where we get to see new groups of people dealing with these big monsters with unique consequences and stakes. But they didn't do that, because the filmmakers were cowards, who relied on star power and overcomplicated corporate boogeymen when they couldn't think of anything else to write. And as much as I hope they learn their lesson for number 5, they probably won't. Because even though dinosaurs aren't enough to carry a whole movie, they're definitely enough to make people like me go to the theater. And I guess that's all that really matters. And finally, we get to the sponsor of this video, me. I'm the sponsor. And with the sponsorship time, I'm telling you to go watch another one of my videos. If you like dinosaurs and Steven Spielberg, you can watch my video looking at the children's companion that he made to Jurassic Park, the first one, We're Back, and how terrible it was and how it shouldn't have been made. So if you're curious about any of that, go click that video. It's here or in the comments. On another note, this is kind of a shorter bridge video that I'm making to get to the next video, which is going to be much longer and is taking a lot more time. So I hope you enjoyed this one as you wait to see the larger exploration I have about a different topic. It's Funko Pops. I will be talking about why I don't like the Funko company in my next big video. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video and you want to support the channel, you can click the like button and subscribe. And if you want to see what I'm doing outside of YouTube, you can follow me on Instagram at 500 Days of Ari. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.